Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Stacy. Today I'm going to go over the Meant to Be series. The Meant to Be series, it is a collection of books by like the top current authors, best-selling authors that does romance, I guess you can say. But it is meant to be, meaning it is Disney. And let's start with the number one book that I read. Not number one, but the first book I read. I got this book at Goodwill, y'all. I'm looking back at my old videos to see where did it start and where did it spiral. This book came from Goodwill. This book came from Ollie's. This one, I'm pretty sure it came from Ollie's as well. And this one came from Second and Charles. So it all started with Goodwill. So If the Shoe Fits, this is by Julie Murphy. It's a retelling of Cinderella. And you can see I try to bedazzle this. Y'all, bedazzling is no joke. Bedazzling is no joke. So the blurb on the back, it says, if the shoe fits, encompass everything I love about a rom-com. I laugh, I swoon, I smiled. Another hit for Julie Murphy. This lady, she knocked it off the park. And that's what Colleen Hoover said. Now, If the Shoe Fit is so much more than a modern retelling classic tale. It's swoon-worthy, slow burn, romance, fills the heart with humor. That's what Farrah Rashawn said. So Julie Murphy, she wrote Dumpling. That's a Netflix show. She's just that girl. So Cindy is the main character. That's her. I want to say his name was Henry. I don't remember because I read this one first. If the shoe doesn't fit, maybe it's time to design your own. So she was body positive in this one, y'all. Of course, she was a plus size girl. A well-paced bow, or I'll say chic stacked heel, is her form of expression. As a fashion-obsessed plus size woman, she could never find designer clothes that worked on her body. But a special pair of shoes always fits right, just right. When a shiny new degree, but no job in sight, Cindy moves back in with her stepmom, Erica Tremaine, the executive producer of the world's biggest reality dating show. When a slot on before midnight needs filling at the last minute, Cindy is thrust into the spotlight. Showcasing her killer shoe collection on TV seems like a great way to jumpstart her career. I'll say, while she's at it, why not go on and a few lavish dates with her eligible suitor? But being the first and only plus size contestant on Before Midnight turns her into a viral sensation and body positive icon overnight. Even harder to believe, she can actually see herself falling for Prince Charming to make it to the end, despite the backhanded compliments and the conveying producers in a house full of fellow contestants she's not sure she can trust. Cindy makes a way, have to take a leap of faith and hope for her heels and her heart don't break. So this is the retelling of Cinderella. And Julie Murphy signed this, y'all. So happy. I met her at BookCon. So cute. This was the first one that had me hooked. Read it, loved it. This is the second one that I actually I was like, okay, buy the book. This looks like this. And when I picked it up, I was like, oh, Jasmine Guillory. Oh, girl. Meant to be. Sometimes you truly know a person. You have to read between the lines. So by the book, Isabel is completely lost. When she first began her career in the publishing after college, she did not expect to be 25, still living at home, and one of the few Black employees at the publishing house, overworked and underpaid, constantly torn between speaking up or stifling herself. Izzy thinks there must be more to this publishing life, so when she overhears her boss complain about a beastly, high-profile author who has failed to deliver a long-awaited manuscript, Isabel sees opportunity to prove her worth and finally gets the recognition that she deserves. All she has to do is go to the author's Santa Barbara mansion and give him a prep talk. Arthur Reed, how hard could it be? But Izzy quickly finds out she is in head over heels. Bo Towers, that's the guy's name, so cute, is not some celebrity lightweight writer writing a tell-all memoir. He's a jaded, withdrawn, and it turns out just as lost as Izzy. But despite his standoffishness, Izzy needs Bo to deliver, and with her encouragement, his story begins to spill on the pages. They soon discover they have more in common than either of them expected, and as their deadline nears, Izzy and Bo begins to realize there may be something there that wasn't there before. Best-selling author Jasmine Guillory. Y'all, yes, so good. I don't know what to say. Kiss the girl. So, what is y'all favorite Disney movie? I'll just start there, because I was a Disney kid. You know, they used to have those extra large Disney gold books and used to. So here is the Disney treasure chest. I called my mom and I said, do you still have my books? And yes, she has them in the closet. I said, don't let my niece and nephew play with my books. Keep them in there, because I still want those. They're about 30-something years old. But this is the books I love. Just like have all the stories in there, and I just love those books so much. That's probably when my reading started, y'all. My mom used to buy me those golden books, and it was big, and I would have to get it, and I had a collection of those Disney books when I was a kid. So that's what this brought me back to. My favorite Disney princess, I remember my comforter was always the Little Mermaid, because we didn't have an ethnic prince. Like, we didn't have a princess back then besides Jasmine from Aladdin in the 90s, but they had Cinderella. Of course, you love her. You love Beauty and the Beast. You love Snow White. And Ariel had that red hair, and I just loved the red hair. It was just something unique about her that I enjoyed. So Ariel is one of the most famous singers in the world. She and her sisters together are known as the band Serene Seven. Have been a pop culture phenomenon since they were kids. On stage, wearing her iconic red wig and sequenced costume, staring out at the sea of fans where she shines. Anyone would think she's the girl who has everything, but lately she wants more. So it plays on the lyrics, it plays on the theme with Ariel and Eric, that was his name. And you can see there's a pattern. We got Prince Charming, we have Bo Towers, we have Eric Reyes. Okay. Against the wishes of her father and his Atlantica Records, Ariel sneaks off an anonymous merch girl. That's what she's posing as, on a summer tour of an up-and-coming band fronted by her dreamy lead singer, Eric. Without her wig and onstage makeup, she is unrecognizable even to herself. Free to finally be a part of the real world on her own terms. So the first time in her life, she can check off the normal girl things. She always wants to carry, or she wants to try and do her own laundry and make new friends. Walking down the street without anybody calling her name. On tour with the band, she remembers what she always loved about music, but she and Eric fall for each other, and it's only a matter of time before the truth comes bubbling to the surface. And this lady, her writing, beautifully written. I'll say the most beautifully written of all of the four, it would have to be this girl, because she gave you, like, it was a pop star princess romance, but it was beautifully written, and the notes and stuff that they put into it, it was more poetic. I ain't that poetic type of girl, but that's what that was given. The funny is, I like this one because it had that reality show take into it. This one I felt was the funniest because it was more, it spoke to me the most with the Grumpy Sunshine, but he was more authentic. Now this one, Tangled, I feel like Tangled is a modern Disney story. And Tangled is one of the ones that I watched, I want to say after college. Yeah, it had to be after college. Because this is like a new age Disney of Rapunzel. I did like Rapunzel. My favorite Disney shows, it wasn't necessarily the Disney. I love Disney movies, but they used to have this show as a kid, I remember in my mind, that came on HBO. And it showed like the black version of it. And it's called Happily Ever After. I know I ain't make it up. I'll put like a little clip in there and show y'all what I'm talking about. So every episode had a different fairy tale in it. And this is the one I'm talking about. About Happily Ever After. And it was voiced by like Whoopi Goldberg, and it was animated. They had Tisha Campbell, Dwayne Martin. They had all these different celebrities that voiced these characters, and each episode was a different fairy tale. So I'm not even gonna say it's like all Disney. It's just like a fairy tale, happy ever after little thing, and it still comes on because I watched each movie. Like after I read Cinderella, I watched the Cinderella Disney. After I read Beauty and the Beast, I watched Beauty and the Beast Disney. And then after I watched The Little Mermaid. But after I read this one, I watched the Happily Ever After version of it because I didn't like Tangled. I don't know. I just did not like, I liked the concept and the originality of the story, but I didn't like the music in Tangled. I didn't like the characters. Like, I love her hair and how it's pretty, and I love the escape that it gives you. And I'm just not, that's my least favorite Disney of these four, if I had to say. So Ren, she has never held an iPhone, Google the answer to a question, or followed her crush on social media. What she has done was read a book or two or three, okay, hundreds, taught herself to paint and to build working wind power systems from scratch. But for all the books she's read, Ren has never found one that can teach a woman raised on a homestead off the grid for most of her 22 years how to live in the real world. So when she achieves her lifelong dream, attending Corona College, it feels like her life is finally beginning. Fitz, that's the main guy, has the rest of his life mapped out, graduate from Corona at the top of his class, gets his criminal record wiped clean, and pass himself off as the rich, handsome player everyone think he is. He's a few short months of checking off step one in his plan when Ren Yoden, that's her last name, with her cascading blonde hair and its encyclopedia brain, crashes into his life for the first time. Fitz's plans are in jeopardy. But a simple assignment in immunology seminar changes the course of both their lives. And suddenly they are thrown out of the frying pan and into the fire on a road trip that leads them in the most unexpected direction. When they're out on the open road, the world seems shifted somehow. And the unlikely pair realize that maybe the key to the dreams they've both been chasing has been sitting next to them the whole time. So this is by Christina Lauren. All these people that wrote these books are heavy hitters, y'all. They are not to play with. Heavy hitters when it comes to writing. Like, this is like the who's who in the book world, you know? Who's who in the book world. I say I've read a Christina Lauren book before. It was the Paradise Problem. I read Jasmine Guillory's book, Julie Murphy's books. I haven't read any of her books, but I did pull one out. I'm going to be reading soon. I don't know just yet. I'm reading this one soon. This is the one I own by her. And I know it's going to be good because that lady can write. All these people can write. Now this one, Tangled, being that it wasn't my best Disney movie trope or movie situation, this book, they put a spin to it. This girl, she was like sheltered. And I don't want to give you more than what the synopsis says, but she was sheltered and she was in a movie, of course, in the tower in the middle of the woods and all of the things. And what you don't know, you don't know. But this one was more of like a grumpy sunshine, to a point where it was starting to, like, he was calling her sunshine. And I was like, I like the layers of story they put into it. I just didn't like the nickname that he was like calling her. And I'll say the most romantic of all of them, it'd have to be Kiss the Girl. If I had to rank it in most romantic to not, Kiss the Girl. Because this trope, it was forced proximity, but she chose him. And I ain't gonna say that she was a part of his, she wanted to be a part of his world. So that was just like the most romantic trope. This one, I want to say, are they all forced proximity? Yes, for forced proximity, because they took the road trip. Yes, forced proximity, because they were in that house, like in his towers together. Yes, because they were in the band on tour. And she was at the reality show. So they all kind of had forced proximity. Happily Ever After, star rated wise, I would say the most happily ever after story was this one to me. I love Beauty and the Beast, Happily Ever After. I love Cinderella, Happy Ever After. And if I had to rank it, it would be these in this order. First, By the Book, Shoe Fits, Kiss the Girl, and then Tangled Up. Now, they do have another one. I think it's the fourth. No, it's going to be the one with Mulan. But I don't know how I feel about Mulan. I never liked Mulan as the show, like as the movie as a kid. That was just my least favorite Disney movie. But if they do have one that's coming out soon. It's called Snow, This Is Love. It's coming out this Christmas. So I do plan to read that one. But I don't know. If I see the Mulan one out in the wild, like bargain price, I will get that one. But I'm satisfied after reading all these. Like, I thought it was funny. I thought it was not too emotional. And it stuck to the story in a modern way. And also, I'm a Disney girl, so I just liked all of it. I love the princesses. I love the names that they gave each one of them. I didn't like Ren. This is like Rapunzel / Tangled. I didn't like her name. I didn't like the nickname. And she didn't even know who her real name was. So y'all know the story of Rapunzel and where she came from and her upbringing and all of that. They put that in here. And I think this series, it had great plots through each one of them. Tangled, slowest one. But it came together because it wasn't really slow. It was just the tropes of them. It wasn't slow. None of them was slow. This had a really good sub story to go with it. So they were on a journey. None of them were slow. You could read them in a day or two. So, and it's not too, there's no smut. You know, it's like clean. This one was age appropriate. She was age appropriate. This one, she was like coming of age and she was college age. You know, 20, in her 20, 22, 23. Because she started college late. And it just gives you that Disney nostalgia, you know? So if you haven't already, these could be your next book. And they are. You can find them anywhere. I found them at Goodwill, Ollie, Second and Charles. And that is it with my spiel on the Meant to Be series. And then I put on one of my little headers, I said, I'm going to read them. But I'm not going to say they're like a 4 or 5. But I think this is like a solid, like individually a 4 or 5 book. But I think this series overall is like a 4-star series, like across the board for me. And give or take, all the names are recognizable. Yep. So that is all. And this is my shirt, my Disney. And y'all know I love me some Ursula. And these are all the villains. I prefer the villains in all the stories, to be honest with y'all. Yeah. So like, comment, and subscribe. And tell me if you read any of these books, or if you're looking to read them, or if you like Disney or hate Disney or whatever. And let's keep this going in the comments. Thank you.